Hi everyone, this is your favorite film critic Jay or Jaylan Salah, as you formerly know her. I'm here very happy to record one of the J Days episodes where I bring in one of my favorite cinephiles and film Twitter friends to talk about movies and just say our favorite films, like just to reminisce or analyze or do blah blah blah. Here is one of our most active film Twitter participants. Okay, film critic and enthusiast. He has like a great project, like the whole of film, where we just nominate our films from different eras, different times. Same goes for actors and stuff. Okay, we have our friend Morgan Phillips-Peate. Morgan Phillips-Peate is joining me today to talk about a favorite film for both of us. However, first of all, Morgan, how are you?
I'm doing very well, thank you. And thanks for having me on as well. This has been something I've been looking forward to since we arranged it as well. So thank you again for having me on.
Okay, Morgan, why are you a cinephile? Why do you love movies? What is your personal connection to film?
Well, it's been an interesting journey because growing up, I used to go to the cinema a couple times, but not often. I wasn't an avid movie lover or goer. And it wasn't really until just after COVID I started going to the cinema more with my friend. And then I thought, actually, you know what? There's a lot of like great movies out there that I've not actually watched or anything. So I just kind of went all in my focus into films, and well, it's took me so far to here on the journey, and I've been loving doing it ever since.
Okay, so first film that really hits you deep. Okay, I'm assuming after COVID, probably. But was there anything earlier, but you just didn't give films, like that much of thought?
Um, I don't know as for like when I was younger, it was like obviously I watched more child focused stuff, but like two films I always remember having like an effect on me in terms of making me cry even as a kid was Peter Jackson's King Kong. At the end, when King Kong dies, I remember sobbing as a kid. But the film that always gets me, and it still does now, is Monsters Inc.
You're right. Oh my God. Of course. Of course. Makes total
When the
sense.
when the door gets shredded at the end, I'm a wreck every single time. Doesn't matter how many times I've seen that movie, it will always hit me like that.
Exactly. Exactly. Some things never get old. So after your COVID experience and you've become like professional Morgan seeking movies.
Um, Again, I don't know if there was one real standout, but like there was a couple in the cinemas where I was watching and I was like, oh, okay, this is like really speaking to me and just like affecting me more emotionally now as an adult. Like I remember when I watched Everything Everywhere All at Once. That blew my mind. That was like because obviously, like I was late to the Marvel stuff as well, so like I kind of binge watched it all.
Yeah.
This was after Endgame as well, so I binge watched it all. So I'd seen all the good, and then the multiverse stuff come in, and I was like, "This is not great." And then everything, everywhere, all at once. I was like, "That's how you do a multiverse, and it makes sense." You know.
Exactly.
But other films that have affected me. I'm not actually sure. The Iron Claw was one I did cry at the cinema when I saw this, and I've cried every time since as well.
Exactly. It really struck me as weird. Okay, we didn't mention the film that we're talking about. We're talking about Iron Claw, okay? Directed by Sean Durkins. Great cast, great synopsis, great plot. Morgan, will you do me a favor and just say a brief introduction about the film to our viewers?
Well, it's a film about a wrestling family, the Von Erich family, and it's just really a journey, not so much about the wrestling itself, but the family aspect of this family, and more importantly, about the curse of the family, and just these lists of tragedies that happen throughout the years. And it's kind of one of those films. You don't kind of come out feeling good, but you kind of do at the same time as well. Like it's just really an emotional film.
100%. I feel like it also comments a lot on masculinity and how vulnerable because you see them and the wrestlers and you're supposed to look like when I was a kid. I would always watch wrestling with my grandparents. And I would always look at wrestlers and feel like, oh my God, these men, like, and just going at each other and, looking like peak, like macho, toxic masculinity. But then this film makes you realize, oh my God, these men really, really were young boys. They had
Yeah,
hearts, and especially Kevin, Zac Efron's character. He's such a softie and he has a
yeah,
big heart. He's like the mom of the family, actually. So it kind of gave me a different perspective, even on a way of living for men and how it should have been healthier for them to express their emotions. So
yeah.
I feel like it's awful. However, because I'm a sister and I have a sister who is like my best friend and I love her so much, this movie hits me so hard, kind of like the show Supernatural, which is about two brothers. I want to know, okay, Morgan is an only child. Where does it hit you? It doesn't affect you, of course, from this angle, but from what angle does it hit you or affect you?
Well, for me, I'm a lifelong wrestling fan. Have been since a young age. So, like, my parents were fans, so I got into it, and then I kind of overtook them. And my like most kids, probably my age, it's just like WWE and only WWE. Where for me, it's like even the old stuff, like further back than what the
Yes.
when the Von Erichs was set as well. So, like, when they announced they were doing the film, I was like, okay, finally somebody's trying to take on this story, because you either do it right or you do it wrong, kind of thing. So when I went into it, it was like nobody probably had a higher expectation than me. Because knowing the story, I was like, when I saw the trailer and Kerry gets on the motorcycle, I'm like, I know what that's about. I know what happens.
Oh yeah.
So, like, all these things, I was like, they've got to, if they miss out some things, which I know they will, because it's Hollywood, they're making a film, they can't tell the whole story. Um, it was just like making sure they hit the notes, but that end, oh my god, just it hits me. It hit me so hard because just Zac Efron's acting. I don't know where he pulled this out and where this was the rest of his career, but
Exactly.
oh my god,
Brilliant performance. I mean, he was just
yeah,
spectacular in this film.
yeah,
He crushed me with that last scene. And the scene where
yeah,
he just looks at his Jeremy Allen White's his brother playing his brother's body. I mean, this scene too, and he was just like looking, like it's utter despair. There's nothing he's
yeah.
going to do. Like his brother is dead in front of him. Oh my God, he was just brilliant. And I feel awful, awful that he was snubbed. Seriously, how can you snub anything here?
The whole film was snubbed. Like, I know, like, I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, it should have won, because like that's probably a bit too much. But like a nomination at
At
least.
least a nomination. This
Yeah,
is what I
yeah,
mean. Exactly. Like, yes, of course, I know there are better performances or whatever, but he should have gotten the nomination because
yeah. I think it could have easily got a also like best original screenplay as well.
I agree.
And I believe that Sean could have got a best directing nomination as well.
Sean
Like,
Durkin's was just
I'll
perfect.
have to have a look back at that year's Oscars, but like I know obviously Zach probably wouldn't have won Best Actor, but like at least give him a shout. Like, I don't, and if I remember correctly, I don't think any award show did.
No, I don't think he was nominated for anything, not even the Golden Globes or the BAFTAs or whatever.
No, I
No.
think the only one was outside of America, weirdly enough.
Where, which award did he win?
I will just actually double check.
Okay.
I don't think he won, but they at least got a
But also,
a shout out.
what a stellar cast. I mean, you have Jeremy Allen White, okay, and you have Harris Dickinson, even in a very fleeting, like very not shiny role, but still he was great. You have Zac Efron, of course. You have
Yeah,
Holt McCallany, the patriarch. He was brilliant as their evil dad.
he's
Lily
so good. Yeah.
James was just very angelic.
So
I love.
looking, it was nominated. Funny enough, it was at statewide different critic awards. So it got two
Oh,
nominations at Austin Film Critics Association for best film and best stunt coordinator. Then at
oh.
Houston Film Critics Society. Then the National Board of Review, San Diego Film Critics Society, Seattle Film Critics Society, St. Louis Film Critics Society, and Minnesota Film Critics Alliance.
Woo. So it's just critics groups that actually found
Yeah,
this film worthy of awards, which is, I mean, if I was in a critics group, I would definitely give multiple awards to that, at
yeah.
least nominate. However, this cast is just golden. How do you think he assembled a cast like that? This feels like there are many names that are now some of the young Hollywood
Yeah,
that are
yeah.
dominating the scene.
Well, like Harris Dickinson, especially, is like such an inspired bit of casting.
100%.
Like the thing, if you're going to nitpick the film, ironically, the best part of the film, like viewing wise, is the cast. And then
Yes.
the thing, if you're like a hardcore fan and you want it to be the whole story told and no like things taken out and everything's proper, the cast is probably the first thing people will pick apart as well, because like the sizes of the wrestlers, especially like Jeremy Allen White's 5'7", Kerry Von Erich was 6'2", and a huge human being. Like
Whoa.
Zac Efron's 5'8", and Kevin was over 6 foot as well.
Wow.
Harris Dickinson they get away with because I think he's 6'2", but like in
Yes.
real life, David was 6'8". Like
Oh my God.
he was a huge
Huge
but
man.
lanky man. So,
Yeah.
but the Holt McCannley casting is literal perfection. Like there was nobody else that could have played Fritz von Erich.
I love that you have a personal correction connection with the Von Erichs themselves. Because for me, I was watching, like WWE or WME or whatever when I was a kid, and it was like, okay, just faces, you know what I mean? Like I
Yeah,
wasn't that invested. But for you, there is this personal connection to the actual wrestlers. So definitely going in, if this was bad, if this rendition was shitty, you would have been the first to be up in arms, like,
yeah,
oh my God,
yeah,
what are you doing? So definitely they did something right with it. And I mean, the sizes and the heights and stuff. Probably they were trying to get the tallest actor they had, which is
yeah,
Harris Dickinson, that they had
yeah.
to make to show the height difference. So they had to pick those shorter actors for some reason. But
I did
seriously,
actually see somebody on, I think it was a Reddit thread that were on about the casting, and somebody said something. I was like, actually, that's not a bad shout. The Zac Efron could have easily played Kerry, like because he's the tanned, good-looking, more
mm,
well-known actor. Kerry at the peaks of the stardom, Kerry was in. He was the only one who made it to WWE, and he
oh,
was the good-looking one. All the girls fancied him. He was this hulkish, like huge looking man where you were like, oh my god, look at him, and like he was the star. Kevin was loved and known, but in Texas more so than national. So ironically, like Jeremy Allen White playing the guy who's the well-known one, and Zac Efron playing the one who's not as well known. It's kind of if you swap those, that would work. But also, you wouldn't get the emotional performance from Zac Efron as the lead, and then the film falls apart unless you recast another Kevin or something. You know what I mean?
exactly. And I also feel like Zac Efron kind of toned down his appeal or his beauty or
Yeah,
whatever. Like he
yeah,
he was trying to dim himself as the one who was
yeah,
the least known, or the kind of like the brother who was always cast aside and stuff like that, which made it heartbreaking, but also it made the whole difference because Kevin is a very
yeah,
rich character. He was even the only one who got away with life, who was able to to have a family and like
yeah,
have kids
yeah,
and get a wife and stuff. So made it all heartbreaking. Besides, I think they gave Zach like this vehicle for shining and for showing his acting skills, which I never thought he possessed even. I started watching some
yeah.
of his films after, like the High School Musical fame or whatever, and
I'm a
still
huge High School Musical fan. Still
you're
am.
like my
Still love it.
cousins.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I don't I
Love
don't
them. Love
vibe
them.
with the High School Musical stuff except probably Sharpay because I love Mean Girls in TV and films. But yes, but so yeah, definitely. I think when I watched him before, I never bought it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
no, this is Zac Efron trying. But here, he really completely disappeared into the role. There was nothing about him. Even you could tell Zac carries himself with this
yeah,
former Disney star, current, like movie star vibe. But here he was very shrinking in his own skin
yeah,
and
yeah.
unsure and insecure. And I love that about him. The other
Yeah,
performances,
100%. Yeah.
just tell me what you think of the other performances.
The other performances are really great as well. Like again, talking about like the plot, just from a standalone. Again, I understand they're making a Hollywood film. They're not making a documentary.
Yes.
Like the story they are trying to sell and tell everybody is about more so the tragedy than anything else. So like I know like the others did have wives, and I believe David had a child, but again, that ties into the tragedy because she passed, I think, at 13 weeks.
Oh,
Like, so even that was a tragedy. Um, so again, I understand why you don't include that because like there was another brother that they didn't include the plot, but again, I understand why because he unfortunately also passes. Like he was only 5'5" and 170 pounds, I think, and he had osteoarthritis and
oh.
asthma, and Fritz forced him to wrestle, and
I hate their dad so
yeah,
much. Oh my
yeah,
goodness.
yeah, well, like Hunt McCanley plays, he can play a villain. Every time I see him, unfortunately, I think he's playing like a authoritarian figure. He's
Exactly.
just very good at doing it. Like I know Kevin, when the real life Kevin wasn't particularly like happy with how his dad was portrayed, which I can understand. But also, there's like a bunch of stories from over the years of Fritz not really being the best person. So I think it depends on your perspective of it. But the like rest of the cast, like Lily James and Zac Efron, because I believe they worked together on the Ted Bundy film, and
Yes.
they were very charismatic together there. So it's not a surprise that they casted her as Pam because she's always great in everything.
Cheers.
Um, Jeremy Allen White was awesome as Kerry, and Kerry's story is always heartbreaking because it's like if the US men's Olympics didn't pull out from that year's Olympics, then Kerry might have escaped the curse. He might have just been an Olympian rather than a wrestler. And then Harris Dickinson, every time I see him, he's just so good. Um, the
He's a great
only
actor.
he really is.
Hmm.
The only like real thing of the cast, like even the other wrestlers, they did a really good job at casting them. The only one, and even when I watched it, and I watched it again last night, and I was
Me
like,
too.
how did they get it so wrong? Was the Ric Flair casting?
Okay, why? Tell
Like
me more.
it was just one. He looked nothing like Ric Flair, even with the wig and everything. And like Ric Flair's this, like especially in his prime, this very charismatic, like smooth talking, fast talker. And then in the film, it's like they've asked a guy to do a Ric Flair impression when he doesn't even know who Ric Flair is. Like as a wrestling fan, I was watching, I was like, this is the
That's a
only thing
shame.
that was the only thing that got a reaction out of me where I
Yeah.
was like, "Oh my god, why?" Like
So this is one of the flaws that you find with the film. Yes, I
that
can
of
tell.
the cast, like
Yeah,
even taking aside like the heights and everything, which doesn't bother me because, as I say, the
exactly.
performances are so well. That's the only bit of casting where I was like, "Wow, that was poorly done."
I know. Okay, so you bring me to a very interesting point because now people are talking about the new Wuthering Heights adaptation before watching it, and it's Emerald Fennell, and she has Jacob Elordi, and she has what her name, Margot Robbie,
Margot
and stuff
Robbie,
like that.
yeah,
Exactly. And people are already complaining that it's not faithful to the book. But however, I think like yes, we always need adaptations that are book to screen that are
yeah,
100% faithful. But what if we give artists or directors or whatever some creative liberty to play with the source material
yeah,
at hand?
yeah,
I want to know your take because your take could be different from mine, but I want to know because this is me. Like I have watched many, many adaptations of whatever work of literature that I like. And
yeah.
sometimes I vibe with something that is entirely different but catches the spirit
Yeah,
of the book.
totally agree. Like, on my physical media shelf next to me, I've got Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, prime
Yes.
example, because that year they did another version of the same film they've done how many times? Nobody liked it. Guillermo del Toro drops one on Netflix, and everyone's like, "Wow!"
Whoa.
Like, yeah. I'm so excited for his Frankenstein take
Me
because I know it will be
too.
different. His take on Creature from the Black Lagoon, The Shape of Water,
Which is
perfect, perfect.
insane and
I
beautiful
love
and
both of
romantic.
those films, so and I can enjoy both of those films. Like
Exactly.
Nosferatu, Dracula, same thing. Like
Same,
for me,
same.
there's been three Nosferatu films and there's not been a bad one yet. Like I really like the Nosferatu films. But yeah, I totally agree with you. There needs to be because there'll always be until the end of time, like 1,000 Snow Whites that are the exact same, and you may as well just watch the original. Then there'll be somebody who does a take where you're like, that's different. It might work, it might not, but it's needed.
Exactly. It's neat. This is the thing. We might watch the film and it's awful on so many levels,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
the idea that it's this is not being faithful or you're disdaining, like the memory of Emily Bronte, well, maybe we need to shake things up, or maybe this is how
yeah.
she read the novel and put it on screen. There are
Well,
people who actually
that's the main thing that stands out for me. It's not the casting that's the thing where I'm like, that's the risk. Emerald Fennell, if you've watched an Emerald Fennel film, watch Saltburn, and then you're thinking that's the woman who's making Wuthering Heights. You're like, that's out there. Forget the casting. It's the person writing and directing. You're like, whoa,
exactly.
that's
And
what stood out to me. Yeah,
also, I feel like, okay, because I was talking to my sister about it, and she told me, well, this is what she saw in the novel. Like, imagine if these people were falling in love now, they'd be two horny, sexually abhorrent kids experimenting with sex and being, like
yeah,
extreme, because it makes sense. They were very horny and toxic and mad and kind of like perverted for their times, for those restrained times. So when she is reimagining probably the story now, this is what these kinds of characters would love, but she put it in that setting. So I didn't know. I still feel like I have to watch it first, but I'm not
yeah.
against the idea because I feel like there are people who are against the idea from the beginning. And please don't
Yeah,
come
and
for
if you
us.
and if you're doing that take of the film where it's just like, oh, the horny and stuff, do you want anybody directing that film other than Emerald
Other
Fennell?
than no,
No, there's nobody else who can do it. Like,
no one. She's the only one who is perfect for the job. And if you doubt this, watch Saltburn, please. Yes, thank you very much. Definitely. Well, okay, so which scene impacted you the most in Iron Claw, and which scene left you feeling like, oh my God, I feel like, because when you were describing the actual events, sometimes it would feel like a melodrama. Like, imagine if he would put, like, he had a son and then his wife died or his son died. No,
yeah,
no, people would be like, oh man, this is too much. He was
yeah,
smart to take creative liberty, even with these real life people, to
yeah,
make you less, like melodrama sometimes puts like a wall between you and
yeah,
what you are seeing, and you feel like, no, I can't take this. But here, he toned it down, even the tragedy, to make you feel more invested and impacted by the story.
yeah.
So, which scene impacted you the most?
You're spot on with that because like if all people have to do after watching this, Google up about the Von Erichs and read the actual whole family tales because Jesus Christ, like the eldest son who died as a young child, I believe was electrocuted on
Oh,
a like cattle fence and fell. You can't make this up. Fell
exactly.
face first into a puddle of snow and drowned. That like to that level, tell me there isn't a curse because that's like
Of course.
ridiculous. Like,
Of
and
course.
then Kevin, and this ties in with the scene that like affected me the most at the end. Like, I was a brother and now I'm not. Like, to get, and not only that, it's not like he had one brother or two brothers. He had six brothers, or he was one of six. Like, he had a lot. He had so many brothers where you're like, how? And Fritz outlived all of his kids, but Kevin, like as
That is
well, which is
scary.
yeah,
Insane.
it's insane. Like that would be probably the scene that affects me the most. But like another scene to give you something else, because that's probably also the scene that you'll pick. One thing that absolutely cracks me up because when I was watching it, I was taking notes on my iPhone, just jotting down some notes. And it was when we come to the first promo scene when Kevin's doing the promo, talking to the camera, and he keeps having to restart it, and David's just teasing him. I love that because it is true. Like, go back, watch old promo clips. Kevin talking, love him in the ring. He was a fun worker to watch, but he was not charismatic at all. And then
No.
David truly did have everything, and he was actually going to go on a tour with Ric Flair, wrestling him for the belts. That was true, and he might have won because he had everything, and he was really really good. But then it's also sad to say that if David hadn't have died, they genuinely wouldn't have put the belt on Kerry. The only
Yeah.
reason they did that because they're doing this big story, and it's like, well, it's kind of like we're the evil ones if we don't put the belt on him after that kind of deal. So it's unfortunate, but they did manage to get a world champion at least, even if it was through this like awful tragedy.
think also one of the scenes that I loved, although this had like a mystical, supernatural element to it, was when their souls met finally at peace, and they met, like you
Yeah,
said, the brother who died very young age. They didn't give us
yeah,
any context for this brother, didn't tell us like the actual tragedy.
yeah,
Of course, it would have, I think, taken down from the impact of the film or the element of the
yeah,
film. But seeing them holding their little brother who will always be young, always be a kid, oh my God, this just broke my heart because Jeremy
yeah.
Allen White too, he got so emotional and you could
He did.
tell
He nailed it.
he
He nailed it.
perfect, seriously. Like I love the acting. I love this film so much. And even see like now this is the my second time. Is it your second time as well?
My third time watching it.
And it still hits you hard. This means that this film will stand the test of time. This is what movies should be about.
Yeah, and not only that, being not really a biopic because it's not. It's like based on a true story. Not oh, we're trying to say it is a true story. I think that really helped it. The fact they wasn't trying to say, "Oh, this is the truth," because that never works in anyone's favor. Like you can look at the amount of biopics that have come out recently and that are upcoming. I don't care.
Exactly.
Respectfully,
I
I
don't
don't.
care
What
exactly.
like I love Jeremy Allen White. Why are we getting a Bruce Springsteen
I don't
biopic?
know.
Please tell me. I love Bruce. He's the boss. You know, his life story doesn't warrant a movie. Like the same with Bob Dylan. Just because it's
Bob
Bob
Dylan
Dylan,
once
I don't need
sucked.
Timothy.
I'm sorry. I
I don't
hated
need
it.
I don't need Timothy Chalamet going for 2 hours. Like I don't care.
I don't care.
And
Exactly. I was the same.
then he got an Oscar nomination for it as
Why?
well.
Undeserved. Sorry.
Jeremy Allen White won't probably because The Rock will.
Exactly.
The Smashing Machine. I just want to go on a quick rant about that. I'm a
Rant,
huge
please.
I'm a huge MMA and UFC fan. So again, the standard is up here for people who are watching this and interested on the story of Mark Kerr. Um, go watch the. I think it was come out in 2000. There was a documentary called The Smashing Machine. Just watch that instead. Even if the film ends up being good, they're going to take out things. Just go and watch the film, like the documentary instead. That yeah, I could talk about that and The Rock, so
Please.
I
T-
won't. But
no,
we'll be
just
here for 2 hours.
I feel like I don't really need more biopics. I feel like biopics have become like award vehicles for actors. Probably a
That's the
lot of them,
problem.
like all of them now. Like now, Sydney Sweeney is doing this, I think, wrestler or boxer,
Boxer, yeah,
and
boxer, yeah.
she's trying to what redeem her image after a year of like weird
Well, it's
things.
funny enough. They announced that before her image was tainted, so that's actually come in handy if she does pull it off.
And I feel like I need to watch her in The Handmaiden better, like with Amanda Seyfried or whatever. Like I'd rather
Yeah.
watch her in something else other than,
Well,
like another
it's like
biopic.
last year. If Chalamet was going to get nominated,
They will
Dune
all,
two,
so it will be
Dune
like
two.
exactly. So exactly like not Dylan. So
Yeah, he
what?
robbed himself.
I are we going to have like a year of people playing real people competing against it? No, thank you, please. Kind of like try
Yeah,
to snub most of them and just have one biopic to shut them all up and get the
yeah.
rest with people who are playing actual fleshy, complex characters.
Sinners.
Yes, okay, thank you very much.
The thing I am so nervous about is that when people have watched the Smashing Machine, I believe it showed at Toronto Film
Yeah,
Festival. They were going, "Ah, The Rock could win an Oscar for that."
no, he's
Right.
not going to.
Any
No, no, no.
it's a biopic though. It's a biopic. Um, like what terrified me more about that was not the fact that Dwayne Johnson could have a Oscar on his mantle, but then like great career actors don't. And like
This
Leo's got
kills
one.
me.
The Rock could
Exactly.
also have one. But
Exactly.
also because still to this day for me, as we're recording this right now, the best film I've seen this year is Sinners. And one of the, if not the best performance I've seen, is Michael B. Jordan playing Smoke and Stack. I don't know how he's going to get nominated, whether it's for both or he's going to take up 2 spots for playing both.
That
But
would be a dream scenario.
yeah,
Yes.
but either way, I am really nervous that he's going to lose out a potential only chance for an Oscar to The Rock.
Oh my goodness, the Rock idea is just oh my, and I love the career best. Of course it is a career because he doesn't have
I
a
said that on
career,
Twitter.
guys.
Like career
Exactly.
best is a low bar. Like you've got the Tooth Fairy, Game Plan, Doom. Jumanji, which I didn't watch because the only Jumanji in my world is Robin Williams.
Exactly, me too. I
Um,
would never.
yeah,
Exactly, I would never
yeah, and
betray Robin Williams.
I can't remember all the Dwayne Johnson. Oh, Fast and Furious, but like again,
Yeah.
you know,
Wait, wasn't Vin Diesel in that? So he also they got The Rock
yeah,
and oh my, why? They confuse me so much. I don't
yeah.
know.
But then I think when the film Fast and Furious 5, they fell out massively and hated each other, and they had to film
That
with
makes
each other
sense
being
to me.
offset.
Makes
And apparently, like, I'm not a Vin Diesel guy. I'm on his team because apparently The Rock was just like showing up when he
In
wanted,
my house, we
and
like Jason
like you
Statham. We
you
like
film
neither, but
around.
we like Jason
Yeah,
Statham. Like this
okay,
is the guy we like because my dad loves him so much. So we watch most of his like
that
at least his older movies like
he's
Transporter,
got he's got
Heydays and
fun
stuff.
films. Yeah, Snatch as well.
Snatch is, but Snatch
Yeah,
is like yes.
yeah. And
Speaking,
Mean Machine's fun if you like football or soccer. If you're in the States watching
yes.
this, yeah,
Speaking of Snatch, we just had a Snatch-like film in the movie theater, which is Caught Stealing, starring one of my favorite actors ever, Austin Butler. So we have to talk about Caught Stealing because you liked it as well, Morgan.
yeah.
And tell me what you liked about it. Because I loved it
Uh,
so, so much. Oh my God.
everything,
Yes. True.
everything.
Yes.
Um, like I'm a huge lover of Snatch and Guy Ritchie films, obviously being British as well. Like it's kind of a staple, especially his gangster stuff. Not so much like
Yes.
he's like when he's gone Hollywood and made
No,
some
no,
stuff, and I'm
no.
like, dude, what are you doing? Like this isn't you. Like don't try and be something that isn't just you. Just it's
Exactly.
fine. You
Go
make
back.
gangster films, just make gangster films.
Exactly.
Of course, 2019 he did The Gentleman. I love that film,
I
by the way.
love it
It's
so
so
much
good.
too. Exactly.
And this, when I saw the trailer, I was like, "Is this a new Guy Ritchie film?" Like, oh my god! Then I saw from director Darren Aronofsky. I went, "I'm sorry, what?" I was like,
What?
"Right, hang on." The dude who made Requiem for a Dream, The
He was this
Wrestler, which, by the way,
exactly.
as much as I love The Iron Claw, that is still the best wrestling film I've seen.
See? Exactly. Because it
Yeah,
was brilliant, just brilliance.
Darren
Darren
Aronofsky
is very good.
only makes psychological related films.
Exactly.
So when it was like, oh yeah, he's doing an action thriller, I was like, this is, and I said in my review, this was either a move that was like, you genius or you idiot, you've just like, you've just, why have you risked it and tarnished your name?
Yes,
Especially first film back since The Whale, which was an Oscar, darling. So it's
exactly.
like,
But it's not my
I mean,
darling.
yeah,
I wanted Alphys to win. I wanted Austin Butler. I hated Brendan. I felt bad for Brendan Fraser, of course, and what he's gone
yeah,
through. So I felt like, okay, let's pat him on the shoulder. But I didn't like The Whale. It's my least favorite, probably with Noah. Yeah, because I
okay,
loved Mother. Like everyone hated Mother, but I just loved Mother. But when you see Mother, when you see The Wrestler, and you see The Whale, which was a
yeah,
sob fest,
yeah,
seriously, you would never imagine caught stealing.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then when the whole cast of that just nailed it, like it's
Exactly. And
just
Matt Smith, of
incredible.
course, being a Brit,
Matt,
I feel like
yeah.
you have a thing for
Well,
let's get our
well,
guys.
with
Yes.
Matt Smith as well. Like obviously, he was Doctor Who. That's what he's most known for here.
And
But
House of the Dragon, right?
yeah,
Because people love
but
him
what was
there.
funny with Doctor Who for years was trying to break America into the market. They did a TV film and it killed the whole franchise for a couple decades. David Tennant, still the best Doctor Who, in my opinion. That didn't even break America. Weirdly, Matt Smith's was, and as a Brit, that still confuses me as to why, but I'm here for it. And then Matt Smith, I didn't really watch his films or anything. Then the next time I saw Matt Smith post Doctor Who was Morbius. And I was like, oh my God, how has your career come to this? Like, what the hell
What
are
is
you
going
doing?
on with you?
And then when I saw Cut Stealer, I was like, is that Matt Smith with a mohawk as a mod in the 90s in New York? I was like, what the hell what is this man's career choice doing? Like, then I watched it, I was
Exactly.
like, oh my God, he nailed it. Like,
He was amazing. He was
yeah.
like very fun and very
The
crazy.
best thing they did though was like they limited how much he's in the film, because if he's in that film as much as like everybody else is, I'd want to kill him halfway through. I'd be like, get off my screen, please. But they used it correctly. It was perfect.
because I think this also a testament to Darren's mastery. He knew which characters to hint briefly and which characters to give like screen time,
Yeah,
like the secondary characters in specific. So yeah, and I love the contrast between most of the male characters and Austin Butler because he has the innocent, like movie star face, and then you have all
yeah,
those gritty, like badass guys. You have Bad Bunny, whom I loved. I didn't expect. I thought like, ugh, why? But
yeah.
then I saw him and he was really good as Colorado. And
I liked Bad Bunny in Bullet Train, which
yeah,
is
and you told me exactly
yeah.
Bullet Train,
Well,
yes.
Bullet
But
Train, that's one of the best movie experiences I've still had because it was like near packed out cinema. We watched, me and my friend who I always go to the cinema, we watched it. Everybody was laughing for the whole thing. And I was like, Bad Bunny, fair enough. Like, his English isn't there enough where he's a quick English talker, but
yeah,
he's enough to get through something. So when I saw this and he's a quick English talker, I was like, oh my God, like, he's improved not only as an actor, but his
yes.
English to where he'll probably get more roles.
And he's a really great music. Like I love his music. I think he's very sexy. I love him as a musician. So seeing him, he fits into this world, and
Yeah,
you could tell like he really elevates. And also like the female performances, like Regina King was awesome as this
yeah,
corrupt detective, and you have Zoe Kravitz who was like fleeting, but she was very, for me, it was a very impactful role because she played a
yeah.
very when you see Zoe in real life, she's like this cool, like pothead all the time. And I could see her being very chill, but she played this woman who's very much in love and very passionate, even taking care of a man, like on the verge of breaking down like every single time and
Yeah.
always falling apart. So it was a very refreshing thing. And the cat was great. What's there to hate?
The cat should get as much fame as Dog Pull.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like,
Yes.
if I don't see that cat's doing conventions like Dog Pull is, I'm
I'd
gonna
be
be annoyed.
I would want my friends to send me like, hey, look, we're there. Because many of my friends went to the supernatural conventions and they would send me like, hey, look at me. I took, like a picture with Jared, a picture with Jensen. I'd be so happy for my girls. So seeing my friends actually taking pictures with Tonic the cat, I would be like, yes, girls, you are winning.
Yeah.
Yes. So wow, what a great experience to watch. You also watched The Roses, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Did you like it?
I watched that on release day and I really enjoyed it. Like, going into it, I was like, I didn't know about like the book that it's based off and anything else really. I was just like, yeah, I saw the trailer a boatload of times going to the cinema, and I was like, the trailer made me laugh every time. And that's not a testament to know whether you're going to like a film, of course. But going into it, I was like, I know Olivia Colman can do comedy because like when she's done some British staples like Hot Fuzz and other things,
I
she's
adore
when
Hot Fuzz.
yeah,
Oh my God.
like when she like lets herself go and does more laid back comedic roles, she's great.
She
And
was also
Benedict
funny in The
Cumberbatch,
Favorite. And that
yeah,
was not
yeah,
even a file, but she was just
yeah,
hilarious
yeah,
as this queen, kind of
yeah.
like manipulated by everyone around her. Good for nothing, seriously. She was
She's great.
brilliant.
She's great. Yeah, and Benedict Cumberbatch was also great in the film as well. They bounced off each other so well. Like, the rest of the cast was great as well. Like, Andy Samberg was in it and Kate McKinnon, and they were great.
I love
Yeah,
both of them. And December, oh my God, I love him. And Kate McKinnon, of course, my heart.
she is
She's the
hilarious in
funniest
it. Like,
human being on the planet, but I feel
it,
like all the roles she gets after SNL don't do her justice. She
yeah,
still has a script
she's
for
only in it a
herself.
couple. She's only got a couple like moments in the film, but every time everybody in the cinema was laughing out.
She's just
Uh,
funny. She looks funny. She just looks
yeah,
in the screen and you're like in
but yeah,
stitches.
it's just like the most absurd film. It really is. Like, it's just Benedict Cumberbatch is like not archaeologist. He's a like building designer and stuff. And he meets Olivia Colman, who's a chef, and they like just fall in love like immediately. And he builds her dream house and everything. But then they're like very career driven, career focused people, quite selfish people, and they like have kids, which when people are like that, I never know why they have kids, but they have two kids. And then it just kind of goes from pure love to pure discontent for each other, and
Ooh.
they just insult each other constantly. And it's hilarious because it's proper like British sarcastic humor. So if you don't really like or get sarcasm, probably don't watch it. But if you
I
do.
love British humor. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
I recommend watching it when you can. Like it's only like an hour and a half. It's like gonna be a good comfort film, I think.
Yes, 100%. So there are two movies in the movie theater which I think all people should watch. They should watch The Roses, they should watch Caught Stealing, catch them in the movie theater, please. We say the cinema, by the way, here. Like everyone American says movie theater. I say I go to the cinema there. I go to the movie theater, so I was just happy to finally say this. So yeah, finally. Okay. We have a couple of comments from some people who were interested in
Okay.
our take on Iron Claw. My dear friend Karen.
Before I also forget, by the way,
Yes.
just to show the Iron
Yes,
Claw
oh my
figure.
God. Look at
Yeah,
the okay. Why
yeah.
are you keeping it intact? If it was me, I would
Uh,
like get it out and like make it
I've got
dance
like a
and stuff.
shelf. I've got a shelf full, well, a shelf and a box full of wrestlers from when I've collected as a kid. I've only ever kept a few in boxes. This because it's like more of a movie related thing, and
Yeah.
that's on my shelf.
So you always keep them inside the boxes? I
No, I never usually do, but like as I've got older now, I'm like, no, I'm keeping
Yeah,
that
because
in
oh
there.
my God, even now older, I wouldn't keep anything. I would just grab it out and have it go crazy and put it in water and stuff. But that's just me. Like I don't know how to keep things precious and like intact. You know what I mean? Like no, they have to go down in the dirt. So yeah, kudos to you, my friend. Kudos to you. Okay, so our fans and our followers, friends of us on Twitter, like my dear friend Karen, okay, great Austin Butler fan. She said, "Love this beautiful film. Every performance was superb. Big Oscar snubs with this one for me. Yep, that happened." Also, our friend Yana said, "I love the movie. I think I even teared up when I watched it." And if you know Yana, she's kind of a salty girl. So that's a testament because I feel like this is not the kind of sub story that is trying to milk you for tears.
No,
You would just
no,
find
yeah,
yourself, and there are scenes where they don't even focus on the death or
yeah,
stay long with it. And this, I think, is more impactful because when there is a crescendo to the last one where it's scary, you're like, he lost them all. So
yeah,
it hits you how devastating this must have been for Kevin. Like one after the other, and even Kevin more, because Kevin felt like he was the actual father, the actual mother of
yeah.
this house. So the fact that a brother, a sibling, could actually have all that weight on his shoulders, it even hit me more because why? Why did he take up this role? He should have been like, just a regular kid, a son. He shouldn't have had that responsibility to feel like
Yeah.
I need to save and protect all my brothers. So that was really awful.
I had the same thing because when I saw it in the cinema, because I know in America it come out in December, in the UK it didn't come out till February because our cinemas hate us and make us wait months. I hate it. So I went to see that for my birthday when it come out. It didn't come out on my birthday, but it was like a couple of days before or after. And I went with my friend, as I always do, Charlie. And Charlie's not a wrestling fan by any means. Didn't know anything about the story. I didn't tell him anything because I was just kind of like, I'm using him as the experiment of a normal person, what their reaction is to this story. And at the end of it, even he was crying. I was like, oh wow, like that it's not just me because I know and they did it well,
Exactly.
but like, yeah,
Definitely. Even if you go blind, you will just get invested, emotionally invested, and you'll bawl your eyes out.
yeah,
Okay. So, Morgan, I want you to tell me about your whole film project because I feel like you've had it for a long time and now it's even branching out that you're going to have your own podcast. So, tell me
yeah.
more.
I started the Hall of Film while uploading this year. It's a community voted thing, and it's like you've got four different time periods. You've got the modern, New Hollywood, Golden Age, and then the Pioneer. And I split it into categories. So you've got the films, actors, actresses, directors. With each vote, you get 10 films. So, like, your first place is worth 10 points, and then working down to your 10th place being only one. But the actors and actresses, to kind of keep it a bit more doable for people on like a regular monthly basis, it's only five. So, again, like, first place would be 5 points, fifth place is one. And at the end of it, whoever's got the most votes, they go into the Hall of Film. And I was like pretty set on just that kind of being my thing. But I'm friends with a lot of podcasters, and I'm like, I love a good talk as much as anyone. So, and I've kind of built like this web of connections of great podcasters who I'd like to talk films about more, like in person, one on one and stuff. So I thought I'd start a podcast, which I will be starting soon. Hopefully, like this month, because I've already got like, if I do one a month, I've got 7 months already of worth of people like lined up.
Yes.
But it's like for the people coming on, they select a film or two or an actor or an actress that they want to talk about, and we do just like a deep dive on the film, or if it's a person on their career. Obviously, some people's careers significantly longer than others that are already in the Hall of Film as well. So yeah, that's kind of what the Hall of Film is becoming as well so far.
Great. That's a great project, and I can't wait to be on the Hall of Film as well. But Morgan, okay, so what is next for you? Like next? What is the next step?
Next thing I'll be doing is my friend Clarissa over I've seen that one. She's started her own podcast. That's probably the next time you'll see me pop up on a podcast. Um, and then hopefully the next step for me personally is actually starting my own podcast. And then in terms of other like expected appearances as of so far, next year, Andrew over at the Revisionist Almanac, I am going on his podcast to talk about a year that I won't say yet because he hasn't announced what the lineup will be, but
Mm,
I'm very much looking forward to that.
yes, yes. Well, Morgan, this conversation was just an eye opener. I loved it so much. Thank you for coming on the J Days.
Thank you for having me. I've really enjoyed just talking about a lot of things with you because I knew we'd go off topic a couple times and talk because that's what I love doing to people.
Me
So
too.
yeah,
I don't like sticking to the topic. Ugh, sucks.
yeah,
Okay, I don't care.
yeah.
I just want a lot of topics. So we and hopefully they all made sense together. So
I
yes,
think
tell
I think
us.
we did a good job. I think did a good job.
Yes, tell us in the comments, guys, what did we get right or wrong? What did you think of our take on biopics, adaptations, like the films that we love, that we hate, blah, blah, blah. And hopefully you will see me soon when it's time to go on with Morgan.